states this, then I will not, and says, "Good then, that should not be a problem." I see no reason for why we should stay here much. No one makes any sort of interjection, so she'll assume that you, of course, agree. And we leave tomorrow then.
All right. If no one does anything special, night passes as the army sets up camp. Sentries are posted in large groups, and fires are spread around.
Now, when you say night passes...
Exactly.
Should we bring along any additional forces? You said that there were supply crates. Perhaps we'll need some additional help carrying them back. Perhaps a group of 6 or so troops could come with us.
As far as Rilinid knows, this sort of circumference of a dose of gnomes bane is rather small. It's a small vial. Depending on how many doses, of course, it could be a lot, but I mean, at 100 or 200 doses of that, it would still be like one medium crate, perhaps.
And Rilinid shakes his head. That will be unnecessary unless truly a noble long ago buried a cache there. If there is anything, Rilinid rotates his head towards Shell. We will manage.
She nods. All right then. I'd hoped for more. I suppose we'll make do with what we can get. She looks to the others. Well then, I suppose tomorrow I shall give our dear sergeant the commands for staying here and foraging, keeping morale up, and telling him, of course, that this is his chance to show us what he can do. We're giving him a chance of about 2 weeks to show that he's capable of leading or keeping this army together and strong. He should spend this time making drills and teamwork training and generally teaching them how to fight a little better and get people to know each other. That can only help us. Some form of solidarity.
Yes, exactly.
Trust falls.
Trust falls, and yeah, certainly. Sergeant Tarlin will receive all these orders and set about his business as proficiently as he can.
Good.
And with that, night passes in the Underdark.
Yes, our designated time to sleep.
Indeed.
Maybe there's like a temperature difference. Maybe it gets colder at night, and you can tell by the temperature.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, for simplicity's sake, there is a night.
Sure.
Well, yeah, we take our rest anyway.
There's cycle A and cycle B.
Exactly.
I'm on the B cycle right now.
Oh, I see. Yes.
Yes, we. Yeah,
I heard rumor of a third cycle.
I suppose we take out then.
All right.
We're going to a Fasturvalt first. Is that correct?
It would be rather rude, I imagine, if we find the supply cache first and then take all of this gnomes bane, or whatever the hell Jonas just called it, with us to the gnomes. Oh, hey guys, by the way, here's a crate of things that'll make us immune to your powers.
What do you do with that crate?
We're here to sell it.
You might need it in the future if you go to war with like another clan or
slaves
tribe,
do it to give us for it.
That's right.
Okay.
Besides, you know, maybe the situation there might be so crazy that it's like, you know, we don't need any supplies. Let's turn around, get the army, and go kill them.
Yeah, they're like, kill the drow, burn them, burn them. Yeah. All right. Well, let's set our movement for festival then.
It's like course for adventure, yes.
Hmm. And what route do you take to Fasturvalt?
I think we'll
Fastest.
might as well take the most direct one. Dipping into the narrow minor passage there, heading through 519 and 520.
Yeah. We don't have that many days actually, and we are not that many people that walking in single file is that much of a problem.
Yes, my character is actually lowballing the number.
You do not know the state of this narrow passage here. It is if it is as well maintained as the Drow Dark Road, yes, that won't be a problem. If it is more like, you know, a standard narrow passage in the Underdark, this might take a while.
Well, it might still be faster than going all the way around.
It's going to be faster than traveling, 10, 20 extra, well, not 20 extra hexes, but 10, 12. We'll check to see the state of it. I don't think we're going to be able to take the army through that, but I would hope just
No, that's certainly not the idea.
Just to us. At the very least, heading to 518 would tell us whether the passage is traversable or not.
Indeed.
Unless we go to 520 and find a dead end.
But
then whoever made this map is going to get on the revenge list.
I got a list.
You spent like 19 years making this fucking, book set and...
Oh, repeats the names every night.
I didn't know you were a dwarf, Manaki.
Book of Grievances.
No, she doesn't need a book. Yeah, we go here.
All right, you travel. It is once again rather uneventful. I mean, the slow, mellow drops of water in the caverns, the scuttle of some sort of beetle or other that sort of rushes away from you when you approach. But slowly but surely you make your way down here, and let's see, it takes, what did I say? We said 5 hours, yes? Yes, 5 hours. So, on the beginning, basically on the third day.
Okay.
Depending a bit, well, of course you can travel a bit, 10,
15, 20, 25.
Second day?
Yeah, second day, I suppose.
Second day. Second day, you arrive at the crossroads. The path continues in front of you, east, and you see the much more narrow and small sort of crack in the stone that leads to the minor passage. Looking in, you see it seems clear enough to at least traverse, although it looks to be rather small as far as you can see. You would guess that you would at times probably need to sort of squeeze and climb your way over some things here.
Starting at the narrow passages, Zyn would offer to go slightly ahead, since his vision is known to be quite keen and he knows how to look for an ambush.
Alauneari would agree to this, allowing him to clear the worst of these sort of problems that the others may travel faster.
If he wants. Whatever. Sounds good.
Okay.
So, I mean, I think if anything there might be a short discussion. It's like the alternative is walking all the way around.
Yes, Alauneari doesn't really see that as a, we're doing something, wasting too much time walking around. The army might just imagine if we never come back.
It is quite difficult to traverse this. Zyn is the one who has the least problem. And it takes roughly 1 day to cross one of these hexes. Making you spend 2 days inside of the narrow passages before you approach Fasturvalt for real.
I suppose that's still the fastest way to do it. Yeah. So what's this entrance approach towards Fasturvalt? Is Fasturvalt sort of against the entrance, or does the entrance sort of lead into a larger way that then
The entrance when you approach Fasturvalt expands and becomes quite large. Although it is clear that this is probably not the main entrance to the town. The tunnels are widen enough for you to walk side by side. You don't need to crouch or climb over too much. Like most of it is cleared away. And in front of you, in the dark, you see a sort of a small gate constructed by stone with a small sort of guardhouse on top of it. Behind the gate, you can hear the clear sound of water rushing. It seems to that the cavern behind the gate where Fasturvalt lies seems to be quite large, and it echoes. You also see a sort of a fine mist of water sort of hanging over the whole place. And there's also, like lights in the dark. You can sort of see it reflecting on the cavern walls, and in the ceiling, sort of a faint bioluminescence over it. You can also clearly hear the sound of what seems to be like mining operations, the clang of industry, as it were.
Yeah, it seems indeed then that this path is not one that is being scouted.
Well, you see quickly some movement in the guardhouse as a ugly and big-nosed and big-eyed head pops out of the guardhouse window, looks down at you, and a frightened yelp is heard.
Alauneari smiles slightly sadistically as he looks at the ugly creature, looking a bit further. Sort of, the others, of course, coming with him. I would assume. I suppose we just go closer. Nearing them slowly, giving them time to see us. Oh, where did we go?
I will move you.
Southeast.
Disappear into the abyss.
They like geometry.
Oh, isn't he adorable? I could just eat him up before he blinded me.
The guard seems indeed quite taken aback at seeing this party approach, and he sort of halt! Who goes there? And you see he grabs at his short sword and raises his shield a bit.
Alauneari sort of steps forward as the one to speak, but actually not to Rain to introduce her. Not thinking that it is fit for her to speak to one of these just common soldiers. She's allowing Rain or anyone else who wishes to take the initiative to introduce us before,
You are standing before Lord Alauneari Vytharia.
Who? Says the gnome with a quaking voice.
Rilinid pipes up, "We are emissaries from Varthus, come to speak with your lord, for it has been some time since we have seen the glorious wonders of Fasturvalt. If you would pray allow us in so that we may entreat with him, so that we may establish wonderfully cordial relationships."
The gnome blinks and seems to wrestle with all of these words that he doesn't seem to really grasp half the meaning of, but he... so you wish to meet Lord Gurney, is that right?
Yes, we want to be friends and establish an embassy here so that we may share in each other's... Just let us in, please.
He sort of swallows visibly. Wait here, as he, hops down on the other side of the wall, and you can hear him run away.
As soon as he vanishes, there is a hiss of a sigh coming out from the stone mask.
Alauneari sort of shakes her head and laughs a bit. So they are simple creatures.
such of a fool as Lady Thotha says, we might really have to dumb it down.
Larry nods. Yes, perhaps that is a good idea. Sister,
What?
if you get the chance, I would like you to show these creatures your friendly side.
She looks confused. What do you want me to do to them?
She looks, chat. Well, act normally.
This is gonna
Today
be...
it is all right. Just don't interrupt us.
Tristan is very confused. She doesn't know if you want her to be normal or if you want her to be her, like her. He's like,
Alauneari assumes she understands.
oh dear.
As she stands
Jonas?
Yes.
Examining what defenses I can see,
Mm-hmm.
how would I like grade the defenses?
This gate seems to be, I mean, sturdy make. It is stone, and certainly a lot of craftsmanship has gone into it. It is not really a gate to, hold out an army, but you would guess that enough, gnome snipers on the admittedly very narrow and crammed battlements could hold off a decent enough force.
Very well.
Is there any additional information that we could discern from our quick look here? Like in terms of defenses and numbers of guards and state of the army or something?
Not really. The guard himself seemed to be very surprised that you were here. The little you saw of him, he seemed to be, well geared for a guard. He was wearing like a breastplate and shield and sword, and he seems to be relatively well trained, although, as you said, very surprised.
Alauneari will assume that the two martial fighters won't need any sort of input to know that they should gaze out the defensive points. So you won't give any.
Sometime later, it takes a while, as you stand around here and wait, the gnome returns. And you can hear sort of a shouting of orders on the other side as the gate slowly opens up. And you see him stand before you with a... oops, that was not what I wanted to do. Get away.
What? You're here?
Turns out we're too late.
Exactly.
What the hell did you tell us? Ash?
That's great.
What?
There was a drow soldier in there.
Yeah, there was a drow soldier in there. He accidentally
I didn't see.
copy-pasted the wrong unit. It was great.
Yep.
Traitors!
So you have come.
Finally. You know this short route.
What? God damn it.
Kidnapping drow from the
He
lake.
knows you very well. Lord Gurney bids thee welcome, noble drow. And if you would follow me, I shall take you to his hall.
Good. Just follow.
And then we all go together in unison.
Mm.
Unified as
Sort of
chaotic evil drow can be.
Look at the architecture here. Is there anything that seems remotely sort of nice looking?
Oh, yes. First of all, as far as you can see, is a single gigantic cave that anywhere else in the world would rate among the largest, caverns anyone has ever seen. But of course, here with spaces, in the Asathyr, with spaces like the Fungal Jungle or the Lake of Diamonds, this is simply standard fare. The cavern ceiling rises more than actually you can see. You cannot see the ceiling of it. But you can see a faint sort of bioluminescence, sort of twinkle here and there up there, almost like stars, although probably you have never seen stars. The most obvious feature of the sort of the nature of Fasturvalt is the very violent river that runs through it. It as you passes through the town, you notice that it is frothing, and it seems to be rushing quite quickly indeed, and like a fine haze of water particles sort of covers the whole area, creating like a fine mist over the whole town. As you approach in, you are first greeted by a large, what seems to be mushroom field. A large patch of very fertile soil, to be sure, and in it grows an enormous collection of strange fungi, like glowing in the dark, and you can see gnomes moving to and from them, sort of tending. Seems to be some sort of farmers or gardeners of some sort. Once you get past the mushroom fields and enter the town proper, you do notice that that marble is indeed the main resource of this town. Everything seems to be made of marble. The houses are made of marble. The bridges are made of marble, and quite exquisite marble at that. The houses sport excellent craftsmanship, as does the bridges. And in the northeastern part of town, you can clearly sort of see the huge quarry where the mining takes place, and you hear the hustle and bustle of that place from afar as you pass through.
Now, I got a question here that I'm thinking about it. Knowing what my character knows over the past several decades, is there anything in particular that's special about the marble here that comes from Fasturvalt as opposed to normal marble?
The marble is very pure from Fasturvalt. It is, as far as you know, the highest quality marble perhaps in all of the Asathir. The town does ship a lot of it out to trading partners, not only to Drow, but also to other sort of enclaves or civilizations in the southern part of the Upper Asathir.
Yet they clearly have enough of it that it's their most common building material, that practically everything here is made out of marble?
Oh, yes.
Now, you said something about a river. Are there any other, like, landmarks or sort of like landscaping here?
There seems to be, well, first of all, the coast of mushroom fields.
Okay. Yeah.
Large open areas. The town seems to be situated on 3 different levels. The first one, on the level of the mushroom fields, seems to be housing sort of the common quarters. You pass over some bridges and you see a town square you pass through, sort of a meeting place and a marketplace. There's not too much trade going on here, but there are certainly places to shop for supplies if someone would want. Next to the town square, there is a large lake. It seems like the deep gnomes have cut out sort of a tributary from the main river to force the water into this sort of lake, and you can see a lot of fishers moving about on the lake. Apparently, dragging up food. The second layer seems to be some sort of, well, you wouldn't really, it's hard to say, but it seems to be the nicer layer of the city to the north. The houses here are more grand and even more exquisite. The stonework is really something at this on this place, and you get the feeling that here is perhaps the more well-off gnomes live on this level. You also notice that the only way up is actually by a natural staircase in the rock, sort of leading up. It is rather cramped and difficult to move up, a natural choke point, if you will. Up here, you also notice a rather large and, from the looks of it, fortified building standing by itself, not really close to much of the other buildings. Its function remains unknown as you pass by it. The third level of the city is clearly where the Lord is situated, and it is up here, the grandest of the buildings. up here, also behind this, seems to be a collection of large statues sort of cut into the cavern walls, depicting different gnome heroes in battle against their hated enemy, the Duergar. And sort of this depicts the glorious victory of the deep gnomes over the hated Duergar, as they apparently sometime centuries ago drove them from this cave and took over.
Rilinid will actually note the carvings and, sort of reflect on that and whisper forward to Alauneari, Sister, perhaps another useful tactic in your speech of friendliness would be to remind them of a common enemy, the Duergar, and perhaps motivate them with maybe they might be making return to the Upper Azathair, if all else fails.
She nods. She looks to Rilinid. How far do you think we should press our requests? An embassy such, but leading 100 soldiers into the city to be fed on the gnome's account.
Rilinid shakes his head. I would not mention the army so much right now. Let us see if we could actually establish some sort of friendly demeanor. Maybe later we could pass through on the pretense of patrolling the highway for Duergar or whatever foul miscreants might exist. But for the moment he might be too suspicious, no matter how stupid he is.
Alauneari nods. I see wisdom in that.
So right now you two are whispering, aren't you?
Yes, we're making sure not to be hurt by the demons, certainly. I mean, the rest of you might hear. I thought I imagined they're sort of going in front of us, leading us with
right. If need
respect,
be.
sort of.
We'll
I mean,
communicate
we're not
in
their
Elven.
prisoners.
We're talking in Elven, so the gnomes probably don't understand that.
You do also notice as you move through Fasturvalt that a lot of gnomes sort of peek out from windows and shops and things like that to follow you, and the expression on their faces is certainly not one of love and happiness to see you, more of abject terror and spite as you move past, and although you don't really see it, you definitely get the feeling that people are spitting after you.
What? He considers smiling, but chooses against it, as that might just seem like a taunt.
Stone Mask hides a rather like a smirk and a leer on the face of my character.
I'm going to move you down here. And to the southwest. Your guide. Actually, do I need to? Okay.
That is so wrong. Slave was in front.
Oh. Back.
Amusing, and I saw that and I immediately corrected, like, wrong.
Well, she is willful, or she was at least. Maybe
That's
there's
right.
a sliver remaining.
Maybe.
The gnome walks up to the doors and pushes them open with his little hands. He seems quite strong. And they swing open to reveal a sort of a guard post inside the doors, who nods at the soldier, and the soldier steps aside. Welcome then, guests, to the Hall of Lord Gurney, Lord and Protector of Fasturvalt. The Lord awaits you inside.
All right. Well, I suppose we'll begin walking in.
Rotate his head towards the soldier, and as he actually steps forward, like personally, let all the others go past and say, "Thank you very much for guiding us here."
The soldier blinks, and it's my pleasure.
Tristan will wave and smile at him.
He will frown and he seems to be thinking many confused thoughts as he sort of steps back Simply mumbles to himself. I never. What is this?
Oh,
The